Hey, Dee, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. You were on here before I was. How's your day going? It's been a little while. I came out here. I'm excited to pull some cards. So I'm gonna pull cards, and I just wanted to start off with a couple. You can hear me? There we go. That should work now. Hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Well, I was just saying hi, Dee. I'm glad you're here. And welcome to everyone else. Whoever's tuning in, say hi. Let me know you're here. I'm excited to share some cards with y'all. If you'd like a card, you can just ask for one. There's no cost or anything. These are cards that I create. It's a kind of a mix of different decks I have. This is the Mandala series. This is the only one that's in stock right now. Um, I've got a couple in the shop if anybody wants one. I'm reordering a whole bunch of them. I sold out a little while ago, but I'll make some more. This is the limited edition, and this is the open edition. Those are the Sacred Journey. And then this is the For the Love of Trees. So if you'd like a card, you can ask for a specific deck if you want. You're like, I want one from the tree deck, or I want one from the Sacred Journey, or I want one of the purple ones. You can ask that. If you have a specific question, you can ask about a specific question, and I will go into detail about that. Or if you just want a general card for inspiration, I'm happy to pull one for you. All you have to do is ask. So how's it going so far? General card for inspiration, you got it. All right, Dee, I'm recognizing your energy, but I'm not placing it. How do I know you? I feel like you feel familiar, but I can't play it. Low energy, huh? Okay, some inspiration for you. There we go. Oh, there we go. Whimsical wisdom. There exists within you a realm of profound wisdom. It's not found by facing reality, but by following the fun. So be playful and be led by the jubilant song in your heart. So, yeah, you want to figure something out. If you've been using a lot of energy trying to figure things out, um, yeah, it might be time to try just being playful, letting the butterfly kind of land on your nose, letting the, this was a collective reading that I created with a bunch of people. And as it evolved, we're like, oh, there's like an octopus over here, a little fish, and then there's a waterfall, and then there's like, so there's all the elements present. There's so much potential. And sometimes that can be overwhelming. So the best way to figure out what your path is by what leads you to the most fun. hmm Yeah, too rigid. That's just it. Sometimes it's just gotta flow. And I think when you're like really clever, highly intellectual, or things are really important, we tend to get really intense about it, and forget to relax into it through play, right? So I'm going to pull one in the interim here, just as an in-between card. And if anybody's just tuning in, if you'd like a card, you are more than welcome to ask for one. You can just say like card please, or you can say I want one from the green deck or the purple deck. There aren't many people in here too, so you can have more than one. I'm gonna try pinning that. Let's see. Yes, bear with me for a second while I do something on my computer real quick. Mm-hmm. Hey, Cindy, I am live. Yes. How are you? I am. I know sometimes it's hard to tell if it's a replay on things, but yes, I am here. I'm live. Yeah, Merry almost Christmas. Yeah. Uh-oh. There we go. All right, so I'm trying to find my little. Oh, I am still on TikTok. Yeah. Is that how I know you? Is from TikTok? Ah, okay. Yeah, I just haven't been doing lives there. Okay. Now you should be able to see that. Okay. Are you still here, Cindy? There. All right, so if you'd like a card, you just ask for one. You can ask for a specific question if you have one, or a topic. You can ask for a specific card deck. So this is a whole mix of decks. I've got the limited edition. So you can ask for one of these decks and I'll stop on one take the next one down. There's no cost for a card reading. I'm happy to pull a card for you. I make these cards. You can find the majority of them on my site. There are only 3 decks left of this one. That's all I have in stock right now are 3 of these. And they look like this. They come in a little bag and they come wrapped up. There are 33 cards in this deck right here. This is called the Mandala series. Look at that cute little friend. So that's what these look like. These are what they look like when they're shiny and new. So I painted every single one of these images and wrote the words to them. I mean, they're prints of the paintings that I created, but I don't print them every time. You know what I mean? You do? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the mandala series is pretty direct, I think. All right, so if anybody would like a card, let me know. I'm going to pull one as a general reading just for anybody who needs it right now. If you have a specific question, I am more than happy to pull one for you. You can just feel free to ask. Here's one from the Mandala series. Stand your ground. Face your fears with compassion and self-acceptance. It's when we run from ourselves that we often get trampled. Isn't that the truth? You know? If you got stuff coming up, you got stuff you're afraid of or you're not dealing with, trying to run away from that usually runs us down. So face it, look at it head on with love for yourself. That, sometimes we're afraid of stuff. That's just part of the human experience, isn't it? All right. If you'd like a card, just ask. You can say general, you can say card, please. You can say I want one of the purple ones or I want one of the green ones. Or this one, this is the Sacred Journey. There are two versions of the Sacred Journey. One is a limited edition deck, and those are like gold on the edge, they're fancy. And then there's an open edition deck, and that's what this one is, the real colorful one. And these are all created from private readings. So if you get a private reading with me, I do like these. You get a 9 by 12 original painting, and then that painting can become a card in this oracle deck. I'm actually going to be releasing another expansion set next month. Pretty excited about that. It'll be pretty awesome. So yeah, if you want a card, let me know. Just ask for a card, or you can ask a specific question. You can just say general or finances or romance or whatever. I'm going to pull a card right now just for anybody who's just tuning in. If you need a little insight, here's one just as a general collective. This is from the For the Love of Trees deck. This one's sold, but I can show you what the deck looks like. They're all hand stamped, this deck. That is, I stamped these by hand. They're gold on the edges. They're pretty. And they come in a gold satin bag too. I need to make more. All right, and that was on top here. So as a message for the collective, new heights. So you're prepared for this. Nothing to fear. So two things about fear. So there must be stuff coming up to be cleansed in our collective energy. You're prepared for this. Nothing to fear. You'll get used to breathing the air up here. Just enjoy the view. Take your time. Take it in. If you're in a new state, if you are like kind of leveled up or there's something new and there's some changes, whether you interpret them as good or bad or neutral, it always takes some acclimation. It always takes a little getting used to something new, and just trust that you're prepared for it. If you're finding yourself in a new spot, you've already done the work to prepare for that, or you wouldn't be there. So there's nothing to fear. You're, you know, just breathe. Ooh. Again, so this is also, so if there's lots of fear coming up and there's that kind of feeling of like, I'm so overwhelmed, that kind of feeling, maybe you need a good cleansing release. For me, I like to go to the pool and I dive in as deep as I can, and then when I come up for air, I'm like a new being. If I think water is so cleansing, but we also have the built-in system with our tears, right? We can let them fall. And this card's saying, this is from the For the Love of Trees deck. You can see right down here where it says very subtly, For the Love of Trees. The rain falls, obscuring our view, and for a while the world appears muddy and confusing, yet each time it washes the dust away, renewing the soul. So be patient. Let it rain. Yeah, if you need a good cry, have a good cry. That's one way to clear that out so that you can move forward, Clear that out. You can see that little kitty. How cute. I was stuck in a rut. That reminds me of when I used to ride motorcycles out like off-road type, and like I mean, I would say the phrase stuck in a rut, but I never really experienced stuck in a rut. So like being stuck in an actual rut, you drive down and you're stuck in there. You can't really, you got to stay in it until it evens out a little bit. If you're just tuning in, let me know if you'd like a card. I'm just pulling some cards just for fun, just for some inspiration. You're more than welcome to ask for one. Just put it in the comments what you would like to know about, what you want some inspiration about. Or if you have any questions about the process of creating the cards, I'm happy to share. Let's do a good shuffle. I'm trying to rest my hand. I think I injured something in my left hand, but gonna do one good shuffle. Nope. No, that was too hard. Do it like this. Yeah. So anything exciting? You do anything exciting for the holiday, Dee? Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what it is yet. It could. I kind of feel like it might be the watch, but there we go. All right. So two things here. We're kind of. I do feel like this. I feel like we're entering a period of like high intensity self like personal development, right? So big changes in who we are and what we're doing, and really lots of big realizations. And I feel like we're kind of crossing a threshold right now collectively where the higher self's like, hey, come on, you want to go on an adventure? Take my hand, says the higher self, with a promise of safe passage. An adventure and transformation awaits. And if that feels really intense, the increasing momentum of life can feel intense and overwhelming. So take a few deep breaths right now. Allow peace to wash over you. So, yeah, I invite you to take a deep breath. Sometimes we forget to breathe. I know I do. Gonna spend time with family and draw? I love that. I love that. Try to create something. You know, it just flashed in my mind when I read that. Time with family and drawing was like when I was a little kid going out to eat at restaurants, and I was always excited when there were blank table uh, placemats, because then I could just draw on it. Wasn't filled with some stupid games I had no interest in. It was all just a blank sheet that I could do some drawings on. Those were my favorites. Welcome in, welcome in. If you'd like a card, just ask. There's no cost for the cards. If you want to, there's some artwork and cards in the bin though. If anybody wants your own deck, especially crayons. Yeah. I have in the past passed out crayons just to random people on the street, and I kind of want to do that again. I just want everybody to reconnect with that child within them. So if you'd like a card, just ask. I'm pulling cards. I'm pulling a couple random ones for the collective and reading them out for anybody who might need the message. But if you have a specific question, you're more than welcome to ask. Access your alchemy, this one says. Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie just messaged me from what? How are you watching me? On YouTube. Oh, hello, everyone on YouTube. That's awesome. Transform yourself through personal expression. Fear becomes strength as it passes through the fire. Have patience with the process. Find stability in the change. So again, there's like all this change coming for us, I think. Lots of personal development. I feel like the next whatever time period is we're really going to experience a culmination of things that we've kind of put into motion for ourselves over this long time. Look at all this, the butterfly, the crown. Yours is a long line of alchemists, and you'll inspire many more. You are worthy of the crown. Absolutely. You're worthy of being here, of having what you've desired for so long. It's all right there. I think in a way it's kind of just waiting for us to open up to it. Have I ever worked with pastel? Oh yeah, I like oil pastels. I like the squishes. And I used to use in my journal the chalk pastels a lot. I do like those a lot. Yeah. Do you use those? So if anybody would like a card, you're more than welcome to ask for one. Should ask Santa for some pastels. I do. I use the oil pastels for a while. Crayons are fun. You ever see like when people melt down the crayons and make art with that? I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, if anybody wants a card, I'm happy to pull a card. These are oracle cards that I create. They come from my artwork and words. I do private readings where I use art to tune into the divine source and pull forward messages and translate it into artwork and then into messages. Here's what they look like. So I do like private readings, and then those readings become oracle cards for people. What did you do with crayons, Dee? Like, did you do large things or little? This is from the mandala series. So the only thing I have left in my inventory right now are 3 decks of this one, the mandala series, and that's what these look like. But I do have like a wait list on my site. Heck yeah. Yeah, I don't think it takes too much to access that inner child, right? Just a little nudge. Box of crayons with the one with the sharpener would be very nice. Yeah, if you're just tuning in and you'd like a card, let me know. You can ask any question you want, or you can just say, card please, general. It's no cost. I'm happy to share some insights. Focus on the first step, one foot in front of the other. Here's that childlike wonder we were just talking about. This is one of my favorites. See the world through the eyes of a child. Have fun. Make a mess. Enjoy the simple pleasures, right? Do you get that card a lot? I love that. Balance is power. You can have it all. You can have it all. This is one of my favorite cards. There's just so much going on. All these little beings. And I love this little dragon back up here. It's a good reminder that there's guidance available. So whatever you want. If you want to spend more time with your inner child or whatever, all you got to do is open up and receive the guidance to that experience. It's another good one with Jerry. Not often do I see like recognizable humans in the paintings, but he was so strong. You have another question? Go for it. I'm happy to pull a card for you. Yeah, if anyone's just tuning in, or if you're watching on YouTube and you want to come in and ask a question, you're more than welcome to. I won't be able to see you over on the YouTube, but if you come over to Whatnot, I'll be able to pull a card for you. On romance. All right, let's see. How do I find the person who understands me like I want to with them? Gotcha. All right, well, let's see what the cards want to share about that. Open up a conversation about that. How do I find the person who understands me like I want them to? I want to with them. How did you mean to say the last few words? Like I want to? Like I want them to? Or are you saying like you want to understand them also? Just to clarify. So here's the mandala. I know you have these. So first things first, trust in your natural abilities. Like they want to understand me, yes. And that exchange, so it begins with you, is what I'm feeling is trust your natural abilities. So you access your innate capacity for healing for yourself and others by simply being you. So it starts with that. It starts with not trying to cultivate yourself and your behavior in a way that you think will be understood by them, but to just expect that someone will take the time to get to know you and understand you. Here's another one from that mandala. This deck must really like you, Dee. So stand your ground. face your fears with compassion and self-acceptance. So what are you afraid of will happen? So let's imagine that you have some fear about someone actually understanding you that is creating resistance. I'm not saying you do, but what if you did? What if there was something that was that is a little bit scary about someone understanding you and you fully understanding them to the depths that you're talking about? Um, what would that fear look like? Why might you feel safer not being understood? And just kind of exploring that with some compassion and understanding that we have all kinds of fears and stuff. They're not always rational. But don't run away from those ideas. If those things are coming up, be yourself fully as you can be. Ex- Explore and express and accept your fears, and then trust that wherever you are right now is where you're meant to be. You're not off track. You're not missing each other. You're not, you know what I mean? Like, you will find one another when you're ready, when you're each ready to be found. So this one says, Promised Land. When you feel like a vessel lost at sea, remember, you're also the sun, the sky, and the warm ocean breeze. You are exactly where you need to be today. The promise isn't just for the landing, but for the songs we'll sing on the way. So keep in mind that it's not just about understanding. Like, you're not just going to meet someone and, like, oh my gosh. And you might right off the bat go, like, oh my gosh, we understand each other so well. But there's going to be there's always this growth toward deeper understanding of one another. So there's always, you don't ever really get to the promised land. It's about the journey together. That's kind of the point. I hope that's helpful. So I'm pulling cards. If anybody wants a card, I'm happy to pull a couple cards for you. You're welcome to ask a question. Nothing's off limits. You can ask whatever question you want. I'll just answer at my discretion. Oh, I can't shuffle like that. Dang it. And if you want to know more about any of these cards, I make these cards. This is the mandala series. This is the one that I have in stock right now. It's 33 cards. They're all channeled from the image first, and then the messages come from the image. This one here is the For the Love of Trees. This one's backordered. You can get it on my website, but I just had it out there because it's pretty. But I do have 3 left of the mandala series. And then there's a couple of paintings in the bin right now if anybody wants to check those out. If you want to see anything, let me know. And I'm happy to pull a card for you. If you're watching over on YouTube, hello. I can't see your comments, but I can feel you watching. I just want to say hi to you. This is a card for you guys over there. Would love for you to come on over, come into the chat. Patience and persistence. Have patience while the path clears. Expansion can cause old energy to be released. Let it go. Stay focused on your goal. So as we're making changes sometimes, doesn't matter what topic or like what area of our life we make those changes in, it can kind of like, so that expansion, that change can kind of like shift things around that releases old energy. It's not for us. We don't need, so just let it clear out. Old patterns might come back up again, but it's not for us to, it's not, you can engage with them if you want to, but really this card is saying just kind of like keep your eye on the prize. Let those old patterns just flow past you. And stay tenacious in your desire to move forward and maintain the changes that you've made. Yeah. Lots of change in the air. Lots of intense energy and shifting and becoming, you know, things are coming to fruition. But there's also this kind of end of the year life review energy too. So we're kind of looking back and looking back and looking ahead at the same time. It's a really weird time of year, isn't it? I got my tea in a cup that's actually it's coffee. What am I saying tea for? I forgot what I'm drinking. You're doing great. That's my encouraging coffee cup. Yeah, if you want a card, let me know. I'm happy to pull one for you. Here's another card just for the collective. But if you have a specific question, you're more than welcome to ask. You don't have to like sign up for anything. Just ask your question and I'll pull a card for you. Oh, this is that card I was talking about before. I really love this one. There are so many little beings here just working on our behalf in the background of things, all kind of happening in her mind. Everything is mental, right? So shifting our mental processes and trusting that things are kind of working out for us. There is guidance. So this card says, remember, there's guidance available at all times to help you navigate this realm of potential. The only decision you need to make is to open your mind and receive it. Potential can kind of be one of those words that it either is really exciting or it's kind of feels like pressure. I know when I was young and teachers would say, but you have so much potential. It used to really piss me off, quite honestly. So sometimes we can feel really overwhelmed with potential or overwhelmed with choices. So remember, you can ask for help. You can ask, and all you have to really do is just be open to being guided by your higher mind or the spirit realm or however you define that for yourself. But to just kind of be open to it, to receiving the guidance. Yeah. If you're open to receiving guidance and you want to ask a question, put it in the chat. I'll pull a card for you. If you have any questions about the cards or if you want to see any of the artwork that's in the bin, let me know. Or if you want to know more about any of these decks, this is a whole mix of a couple different decks. We've got the Sacred Journey deck, that's this one. This is the open edition version, and then this is the limited edition version. The limited edition cards are hand stamped with a gold, and then they have like gold edges. This is the mandala series. All the images in this deck were painted in circles. So they're all like all kinds of different images, but the main theme is that it's in a circle. And then the For the Love of Trees, that's this one back here. This is also hand stamped. It's a limited edition deck, and then it's got the beautiful like gilded edges. You know, it's pretty sparkly gold. Yeah. Well, welcome in. How you doing today? Good to see ya. If you'd like a card, you can just say card please or general, or if you have a specific question or topic like finances or romance or career or anything, you can ask about that. All right, I'm going to pull one just as a collective reading. This is for everyone who wants to receive it. Season of Stillness. So things are super intense right now, but prepare for a season of stillness. Expect a natural transition into a slower pace and allow yourself to rest before the cycle of activity picks up again. This card always says to me, like, sleep when the baby sleeps. Like, if you've ever been around anyone with a newborn, that's it. You take those periods of rest when you can get them. And that's what this card's about. So right now things might be a little intense, but they will slow down. And when they do slow down, make sure you take that opportunity to rest before it picks back up again. You know, that one's from the Mandala series. All right. So if you'd like a card, let me know. I'm happy to pull a card for you. Next person to claim it, I'll pull that card for you. I also have some pendants here. I'm just going to list these. You can ask more questions if you want. It doesn't matter. I've got some pendants here. If anybody would like to know your opinion, if you'd like to see them in the shop, they're at my Ko-fi shop right now. These are just pendants that I made quite a while ago. They're hand painted, so they're original paintings, all of them. This one's my favorite. It's a sloth. You can't see it like that. Like it looks up at you when you wear it. Isn't that cute? So they have like a little pinch bail on them. They're signed because they are original paintings on canvas. How can these be used? They're necklaces. You wear it. Or are you asking about the cards? The pendants, yeah. You just wear them. I started making them because I love big chunky necklaces, but I am prone to like migraines and stuff, or I was, and the heavy pendants they're just too heavy. So I started making those, and they're really light. So because they're on canvas, they're really light and they hang nicely. They're big. They're really big. They look cool they're nice and colorful and stuff. But they don't hurt my neck. So yeah, they're used by wearing them. You can see pictures. They're on my Ko-fi shop. You can see pictures in there of like what they look like when you wear them. Maybe I might put them over here. I mean, I'm pretty new over here on Whatnot, so I might put them in here too eventually. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one. So anybody want this card? Think of a question or think of an intention. All right, Dee, this one's for you. Ooh, that's a good one. Rapid growth and good fortune. So be flexible. You can bend without breaking. Trust the process and let it be easy. Yeah, good stuff's on the way. You just have to, sometimes it doesn't show up the way we expect it to, right? So be a little flexible with that and trust the process. Mm-hmm. I want to look at something real quick here. Bear with me. I'm going over to YouTube to say hi to everybody. Hey, Megan. Dude, that person can I do a real-time scribble drawing? Yeah, I can. As a matter of fact, I will. Even though if you stop, but you got to stop asking, okay? I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to do a scribble drawing. And forgive me, my friends over on YouTube, if you really want to interact with me, it's best to come over here to Whatnot. There should be a link there to be able to get that, but it's too hard for me to keep track of two streams at once, you know? All right. Okay, so this is an intuitive scribble drawing. It's kind of I actually call it paint gazing with pencils. So let's see. So I put it in my non-dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm gonna put it in my left hand, and then I'm gonna close my eyes. I'm gonna think of an intention. So what do I need to know? Let's see something about the upcoming new year. Yeah. All right. So now I'm just gonna kind of scribble. I've got my eyes closed. All right. There. We got a scribble. And now Let me know what you think it looks like. All right. To me, I'm seeing a book. I'm seeing a book right here. So I'm just going to make those pages. It looks like a book. But then there's something here, and I think it's like a lotus, maybe. Yeah, maybe there's a page like that, like it's also like it's made out of paper. It's kind of formed. It's not quite like folded into it, but it sort of is. You see a flame? Oh yeah, I can see it as a flame too. Oh, it's like that. And then sometimes I like to just kind of create a darker background to just say where, you know, say where the edges are. And I like this idea of flame too, so maybe I'll do this and thinking about how like maybe the light is coming from the center. Yeah, we'll give it more shadow. Um, just kind of build up this shadow around it. It's kind of like it's underwater, yeah. Flame underwater, on water. Yeah, it's kind of like yeah, like a lotus. I didn't take drawing till I was in college. I think someone tried to teach me how to draw when I was little, but I already felt like I knew what I was doing. And yeah, people get pissed at me online for my drawing skills because I taught myself. I don't know. This is how I do it. They don't like it when I use an eraser for some reason. I think people think that using an eraser is cheating, but that doesn't make any sense to me because what are you cheating? Like what? Who makes the rules? It's such a weird concept to me. Let's go a little darker back here. I wonder what's in this book. Let's write something. Yeah, I refused to take painting. So I went to college when I was in my 30s, and they wanted me to take a painting class. I went for art therapy, so it wasn't like I was there for art anyway. But there's some writing in the book. Let's give it a title too. There. But yeah, so I was like, nope, I'm not taking painting yet. I don't want to. They're gonna retrain me to do what I've been doing for it was like 10 years at the time already professionally. I have a I have a bit of an ego. All right, so there's the book part, I think. Let's play with this. What did I do? Yeah, and I'm not opposed to art classes at all. I think learning from people is wonderful. I just think it's really important to choose who you choose to learn from. Hmm. Hmm. All right. There's a scribble drawing. I think I can hit it with a pen real quick, but dude, Kaylee, seriously? You're gone. That's annoying. It's nice enough to do what you asked, and now you're still asking. That's an ass. Okay. Anyway, so the way that the whole purpose of this is so that I have something to look at to interpret. So this is bugging me right here. So lotus, I like a water lily or lotus as a symbol of um, a growth and like self-actualization. That's what it feels like in this context too, like blooming, blossoming. Let me use a pen. Go. And so it has something to do also with a book or our words blooming and blossoming with our story. There's a circle in the middle here. Um, Circles tend to represent wholeness and the self, things like that. That's what the mandala series is about. But then these books too, they have this square shape, this rectangle type shape. And so that feels like it's related to, oops, just fill that in. Feels like that's related to stability and foundational stuff. And so it's the whole story about what it means to have stability or to be a stable person or to be stable in life or to have structure and that kind of thing. So that's what's blooming is our new understanding of that. And I think I was talking about that maybe last week. I do it like a daily channeling. So this feels related to that. This right here, though, This feels like a letter. This feels like a letter. It's like a love letter under there. Who's that from? So there's more to the story, right? So partly the story is wide open, like, that's that part. It's like wide open and it's blossoming, but there's still more to be discovered, and that's on this side here. That's the internal experience, and over here on this external experience, I feel like this actually looks like a little bit of a boat. Um, so I want to put an oar right here. Yeah. So there's something about this kind of journey that's happening too. So the story's never, it's, never really ends. There's much more to the story, much more to discover. So that's a scribble drawing. So yeah, that was requested of how I do intuitive scribble drawings. It's really not that different than the little intuitive paintings like these. These are little mini paint gazing sessions, but it's just a different materials. That's all. And that's the same way that I do to make the oracle cards. So when I have little paintings like that or the drawings, I then translate them. So, for example, this was actually an individual, like a private reading. So I'll be making 11 new cards are coming out next month. That's a private read. This was a private reading, and then I just looked at the image and translated it into, um, I looked at what the elements were in here, and then wrote the kind of, to me, it's like a poem. And it's interesting because when I first started making these, I was still really sick. I had chronic health issues, and one of the things that happened when I first got sick was that I could no longer read and write. And like I really struggled to, I went from like one day I was working in the writing center at the college I was going to, and I was helping people write papers. So I was doing a lot of academic reading and writing and things like that. And then the next day after I got sick, I couldn't comprehend what I was reading anymore. And it was really terrifying. And so then I wanted to write because I love writing, but I couldn't do like the big, thick academic papers and journal articles and things like that I was doing. So I started, so this was, not right away, but eventually these little snippets were what I could manage to do. And it was like kind of the way that I walked my way back to being able to write again. So that's, they make me very happy when I read them. How do I go with the flow like that? So I have a degree in art therapy, and in the practice that I learned through there was just, um, I don't remember who called it this, but I think of it as suspending judgment. So I think of it as like the part of me, the part of my brain that wants to make meaning, will pop up like a child, and I kind of just redirect it and be like, yeah, we'll figure out what that means later. And just kind of like, yeah, we'll look at that in a little bit. I kind of treat my whatever part of my inner critic and all that kind of stuff like children who just redirect with love and kindness, and then come back and definitely satisfy that part that wants to make meaning, but not till the end, because if I try to analyze and make meaning while I'm drawing or painting, then I start to like qualify it and like, well, that's that would cause me to say like, you can't turn that into a boat, that doesn't make sense, because there's that part of my part of my brain doesn't see that as making sense, which that's the beauty of it. Let it be nonsensical, because that's where then at the end I go, oh, that totally makes sense in the context of what it's trying to say. But I can't do all those things until the image shows itself. You know what I mean? So if you're just tuning in to me and you'd like a card, I'm happy to pull one for you. I'm able to see both Whatnot on YouTube now. So if you're watching on either platform, let me know if you'd like a card, and I'm happy to pull one for you. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Man, I really want to shuffle. Let's see if I can shuffle. Yay! Okay. Whew. Thank you, Megan. Mm-hmm. Hello, welcome. If you'd like a card, let me know. You can just ask, and I'm happy to pull one for you. This is the Mandala series. This is what I have left right now in stock. These cards here. This is the For the Love of Trees, and then this is a whole mix. I'm already on YouTube, D. A year ago I kind of stopped using TikTok. I didn't stop using it. I still post there, but I went over to Facebook because they were paying me better. So, yeah, they ended the creator program over on TikTok, so I went over to Facebook. But yeah, I've been slowly migrating a lot of my stuff over to YouTube anyway. Hey, Megan, yeah, I'll pull a card for you. So a general one. And I probably consume content the most on YouTube. Yeah. All right, Megan, this one's for you from the For the Love of Trees. Kindred. We know our spiritual brothers and sisters not by their relationship to our parents, but by the common source our roots seek out. So that's where, family comes in all shapes and sizes, right? So the kindred connections, the connections to your community, those who are, your heart-based community, you're connected at the root, you're connected at the, by your passions and by the things that you value. You're connected by values. So, yeah. This actually reminds me. So for those of you who don't know me very well, I minored in theology. And I started on my master's in divinity. So I came back to kind of a biblical perspective. I got really into studying biblical stuff through academia, and I really liked stories. But anyway, so this is reminding me. So if I pull up some information, that's why. But so this is reminding me of, like, I thought it was really rude that Jesus was like doing his thing and, like, had tons of people around him, and then, like, one of the disciples was like, "Hey, Jesus, your mom and your brother are here," and he was basically dismissive and was like, just because they're blood relatives doesn't make them any more important than other people here. And I thought, dang, like, that's kind of cold. But I do understand now why that was written into text, because it's a good lesson that just because someone is related to us by blood doesn't necessarily make them family. But what it's our brothers and sisters we're connected to people by the common source that our roots seek out. We're connected to people through our spirit, right? Hey, Marie, you sure can. I use tarot for myself personally, but I don't read tarot for other people. Yeah. You're very welcome. Do you use tarot, Dee? All right, Marie, this one's for you. General card. Ooh. I'll put that one on the side, but this one, because it jumped out. All right, Marie, surrender to your soul. Relinquish the illusion of control. So you're not giving up anything. You're not giving up control. You're giving up the illusion. You're letting go of the idea that you think you have control over certain things. And let go into love. So when you do that, you're actually letting go. You're not just like letting go into nothingness. You're letting go and letting love take over. You've asked for and you've prepared for transformation. So now just trust the innate wisdom to lead. Trust your innate wisdom to lead and allow the graceful unfurling of your new form. We are in such a huge energy of transformation right now. Look at those wings, and then there's even more wings. So yeah, this is just about like letting go of everything, surrendering to your soul, surrendering to what you've asked for. It's happening, and but you also need to really feel worthy of it. Feather by feather, you assemble your beautiful wings, but wings alone do not give flight. Every acknowledgement of worthiness, every act of self love lifts you higher and brings you closer to all that you desire. So, yeah, that's where there must be some resistance, and it's probably right in with this kind of like, usually for most of us, it's like this worthiness, this self love thing. So, that's really the where to do the work is in just that self acceptance and love, and really letting go of the illusion of control of a lot of things, and just letting the love within you, the higher self, take over. It's the Pluto in Aquarius. Is that what's going on, Dee? Thank you. Yeah, I don't know about these things. They're so, like, astrology's so big, like my brain can't, I can't wrap my head around it. I take people, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I know I don't know what that means, but I do believe you. You're very welcome, Marie. So yeah, if you're just tuning in and you want a card, you're more than welcome to ask. You can ask a specific question. More specific, the more I'm able to like speak to it. If you just want a general card for some inspiration, I'm happy to. I do have one rule, and that is that whatever pops into my head comes out my mouth. Do I pray to angels? Not, I don't, not specifically to angels. I have in the past maybe addressed like what I've thought of as certain like archangels or ascended masters, or I do pray and meditate and talk out loud to the non-physical realm very often. Uh, I speak. Yeah, no, you don't. I don't feel any judgment in your question at all. But thank you for the consideration. Yeah, curiosity is awesome, and I'm open to all questions. You can ask me anything you want. I do, like, I do some type of ritual type prayer sometimes, but for the most part, sometimes I do a lot of gratitude and things like that. Mostly if I'm praying or if I'm, speaking to the non-physical in a general sense to like God or the divine or like the all, just in a general sense. I don't know. Maybe I should ask the angels. Yeah, that doesn't feel right to me. For some reason, it feels odd. It's not in my uh, vernacular, I guess. Yeah. All right, let me pull another card. I'm curious now because you asked me that question, like about angels or about what that might represent. So I'm going to pull a card about that. What do we need to know about this concept of angels? Free reign. So it says, there's no need to fear falling when you have wings. Unleash your power by exercising your freedom of choice. Practice emotional agility. It's okay to change your mind. There's stability in the ebb and flow of the heart. I love this. I feel like it's a very open thing. So when so I'm asking for my own personal like ideas about and beliefs around angels and things like that. It's okay to like have new information and change views and that kind of thing, that we have to be so rigid in how we look at things and define things. I think that's kind of a beautiful answer from the cards. I also love dragons. I do love dragons. This was a fun painting. When I created this one, it tore right here, and it tore into like this heart shape, and that's kind of what inspired a lot of the messaging. So I can pull a few more cards if anybody wants one. I'm getting to about my time limit here. So if anybody wants a card, kind of last call. Or if anybody wants to see any of the artwork that's in the bin, let me know if you want to see any of the decks closer up, or if you have questions. I will be starting a new membership because I'm releasing next year. I will be releasing 11 new cards every month, so it'll be regular. It'll be great, and that'll be a kind of an exclusive membership over on Ko-fi. So I have an account over on Ko-fi where I have like those pendants I was showing and different things. Do what your heart says. That's right. Follow your heart. Sing a song. Listen to your heart. All right. This one is just a collective card for anybody who wants to receive the message of it. Focus on the light. The time for digging in the dirt has passed. So look up. Look for the light. It will guide your growth. I feel like that's kind of coming back to this one too. That we were talking about, because you were saying, Dee, that it felt like there was like a flame or light. I feel like that's true. All right, focus on the light, my friends. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna go make myself a cup of tea and get some reading done. And it was so nice to connect with you all. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.